3 inexplicable games based on pop culture. When you hit on a pop culture phenomenon, it's not surprising that you may want to capitalize on it however you can. Just look at the toys, video games, and even a forthcoming spin-off for The Walking Dead. Of course, sometimes these attempts at milking the cash cow make a little less sense and a lot less money. These are the times when we're forced to wonder just who in the hell thought these pop culture tie-ins would ever be a good idea in the first place. 3. Home Alone video game. Considering it spawned countless terrible sequels and has become a Christmas staple, Home Alone was a smash success and taught the world that sometimes it's okay to laugh at frightening levels of child neglect. Every kid who saw the film when it came out wanted to be Kevin McAllister, and the good people at video game publisher THQ decided to grant them that wish. Unfortunately, the video game they crapped out was bad enough that we're willing to blame it, at least in part, for Macaulay Culkin's rapid fall from the public spotlight. The plot was slightly different depending on which platform you owned, so let's focus on the Sega Genesis version since it involved Kevin not only protecting his house from the wet bandits but also featured an awful lot of him sledding around the neighborhood and breaking into other people's houses as well. It's kind of hilarious that Kevin is worried about protecting the neighborhood from burglars and accomplishes this by burgling the homes of his neighbors, don't you think? There was also a Home Alone 2 board game that was basically Mousetrap, only instead of trying to catch a mouse, you're testing your ability to violently maim a pair of bumbling criminals. 2. Family Ties board game. In case you're a little too young to remember it, Family Ties was a beloved 80s sitcom that launched Michael J. Fox into stardom before he had a chance to hop in a DeLorean for the first time. It was about a family named the Keatons, which featured a pair of former hippie parents and their children, including oldest son Alex, a staunch teenage Republican. Hijinks and hilarity ensued, along with a very special episode in which a young Tom Hanks plays Alex's uncle, who gets drunk and smacks his nephew around a little bit. Wacky family fun. Anyway, it's not exactly the first show you'd ever think of to turn into a game of any sort, right? What could the plot possibly entail when you're dealing with a show about a more or less happy, functional, suburban family? Well, if you ever watched the opening credits and wondered how the Keatons got that iconic family portrait taken, you're in luck. The entire premise of the game is to get the Keatons together to take a photo and pay the photographer. In other words, it's about as mundane a goal as you'd expect from a show like Family Ties. 1. Project Runway video game. A lot of people enjoy the reality competition series Project Runway, and some of them probably even have a reason that isn't completely ridiculous. We can only assume it's because they enjoy watching aspiring designers come up with new, creative, and inventive concepts for fashion, or maybe they just enjoy watching Heidi Klum and Tim Bunn being mean to people. Either way, whatever the reason for their enjoyment, it's probably not the random models who show up to try on the designs. But don't tell that to the makers of the Project Runway video game, because the bulk of the game consists of trying to perfect walking the catwalk and striking poses. Yes, you can do a little bit of moderate fashion design, but it's basically an afterthought in the game. Now, if only the game itself had remained an afterthought to spare us from having to deal with the fact that it actually got made, and some poor sucker probably paid some hard-earned money for a copy.
Subscribe now.